A Christmas Carol by Charles Kingsley. It changed upon the merry, merry Christmas Eve. I went sighing past the church across the moorland dreary. Oh, never sin and wonder woe this earth a leaf. And the bells but mock the wailing road, they sing so cheery. How long, a Lord, how long before we'll come again, cell in cellar and in garret and on moorland dreary. The orphans moan and windows weep, and poor men toil in vain, till earth is sick of hope defreed through Christmas bells be cherry. When arose a joyous clamour from the wide flow on the moor, when of the stars across the snow like clear bells ringing, and a voice within cried, "Listen, Christmas carols even here. Woe, woe be dumb, yet all their work the stars and snows are singing. Blind, I live, I laugh, I regain, and all the nations through, with the thunder of my judgment even now are ringing. Do thou fulfil the work but as yon wild fowl do. Woe wild heat, nor less the wailing, yet here throat angels singing." The Farewell to C.E.G. by Charles Kingsley. My fairest child, I have no song to give you, no lark could pipe in skies so dull and grey. Yet, if you will, one quiet hint I'll leave you, for every day I tell you how to sing a clearer carol, when lark who hails the dawn a breezy dawn, to earn yourself a poor poet's laurel when Shakespeare's crown. Be good, sweet maid, and let who can be clever do lovely things, nor dream them all day long, and so make life and death and wit forever one grand sweet song. A Hope by Charles Kingsley. Twin stars, aloft and ever clear, around each other roll away, within one common atmosphere of their own mutual lighted day. And red, happy eyes are bent upon their chinks' long way, as strengthened by their own intent. They prove the flood of life and day, so we through this world's waning night may, hand in hand, pierce our way, shade round us order, love and light, and shine unto the perfect day. A Lament by Charles Kingsley. The merry, merry lark was up and singing, and the hare was out and feeding on the lea, and the merry, merry bells below were ringing, when my child's laugh rang through me. Now the hares lay at dead beside the snow yard, and the lark beside the dreary winter sea, and the baby in his cradle in the churchyard sleeps sound till the bell rings me. A March by Charles Kingsley. Dreary east winds howling o'er us, clay lands knee-deep spread before us, mire and ice and snow and sleet, aching backs and frozen feet. Knees with reel as marches quicken, ranks with thin as corpses thicken, while with cordons bird we eat, getting puddle water sweet, as we pledge the health of our general, who force as roof as we. What can daunt us, what can turn us, lead to death by such as he? A New Forest Ballad by Charles Kingsley. Oh, she tripped over Ocknell Plain, and down by Bradley Water, and the face maid on the forest side was Jane, the keeper's daughter. She went and ran through the broad grey lawns, as dawn the red sun sank, and chill as the scent of a new-made grave, the mist smelled cold and dank. A token, that fair maid cried, a token that bodes me sorrow, for we would smell the grave by night, we'd see the corpse tomorrow. My own true love on Burley Walk does hunt tonight, I fear, and if he meet my father stern, his game may cost him dear. Ah, here's a curse on heart and rose, a curse on heart and hind, and a health to the squire in all England, leaves never a head behind. A true love shot a mighty heart among the standing rye, when on him leaped the keeper old, for the fern where he did lie. Before his lawns were sharp and stern, before his blood was keen, they lashed together for life and death, whenever holy's green. The metal good and the walnut wood did soon in flinders flee. They forced the arts to south and north, and gave knee to knee. They wrestled up, they wrestled down, they wrestled still and score, beneath a field with middle sweet, who stamped to mud and gore. A cold pale moon, a cruel pale moon, the stars with never a frown, on all the grim and the ghastly things, but a frown and frope and tone. And yet came the pale moon, the cruel pale moon, when night huts never the grace, We liken today Christian men to see one another's face. Wrestled up, wrestled down, wrestled sore and still. We find to blinds the eyes of men, at night he had his will. Like stage full spent among the band, we dropped the while we rest, and the young man drove his saving knife deep in the old man's breast. The old man drove his gunstock down upon the young man's head, and side by side, by the water brown, those yeomen twain lay dead. We dug 3 graves in Leinhardt's yard. We dug them side by side. The yeoman lay there, and a maiden fair, a widow, and never a bride. A parable from Liebig. The church bells were ringing, the devils had singing, on the stump of rotting old tree. Oh, fate it grows cold, and retreats they grow old, and the world is nigh ready for me. The bells went on ringing, a spirit came singing, and smiled as he crumbled a tree. Yet wood does but perish, new ceiling we cherish, and the world is to live yet for thee. A thought from the Rhine, by Charles Kingsley. I heard an eagle crying all alone, above the vineyards through the summer night, among the skeletons of robber towers, because the ancient array of his race was tranced and walled by busy-handed men, and all his forced chase and woodland ride, where from your feet his youth, with here and row, were trimmed with grapes which smelled from hour to hour, and tossed the golden trindles to the sun, for joy on their own riches. So I thought, the great devourers of earth shall sit idle and impotent, they know not why, down dying from the barren height of state, one nation grown too wise to slay and slave, the puppets of a few, by peaceful law and fellow help may glad be the heart of earth, with wonders which with fear and hate, as he, the eagle, hates the vineyard slopes below. Early Beacon, by Charles Kingsley. Early beacon, of a pleasant sight to see, shies and tones from early beacon, and while my love climbed up to me. Early beacon, of happy hours we lay, deep in fern on early beacon, courting through the summer's day. Early beacon, of a very horn for me, all alone on early beacon, with his baby on my knee. Alton's Lockie's Song, by Charles Kingsley. Weep, weep, weep and weep, for poples doiled and sniff. Hark, from wasted morn fen, furrows allay, stifling den, swells the wail of Saxon man, work of Drave. Down, down, down and down, with idler, knave and true end, rifle slung and cart and moil, he that will not live by toil, has no right on English soil, God's words award. Up, up, up and up, face your game and play it. The night is past, behold the sun, the oats fall, the light is done, the judge is set, the doom begun, who shall stay it? Ballad of Earl Haldan's Daughter, by Charles Kingsley. It was Earl Haldan's daughter. She looked across the sea, she looked across the water, and long and loud laughed she. She looks at 6 princesses, must be my marriage fee. So hey bonny boat, and ho bonny boat, who comes a wooing me? It was Earl Haldan's daughter. She walked along the sand, and she was aware of a knight so fair come sailing to the land. His sails were all of velvet, his mast of beaten gold, and hey bonny boat, and ho bonny boat, who sailed her so bold. The looks of 5 princesses I won beyond the sea. I clipped the golden tresses to fringe a cloak for thee. One handful yet is wanting, but one of all the tale. So hey bonny boat, and ho bonny boat, furl up the velvet sail. He leaped into the water, the rover young and bold. He gripped Earl Haldan's daughter, he clipped her looks of gold. Go weep, proud maiden, the tale is full today. Now hey bonny boat, and ho bonny boat, sail westward, ho away. Child Ballad, by Charles Kingsley. Jesus, he loves one and all. Jesus, he loves children small, their souls are waiting round his feet, on high before his mercy seat. While he wandered here below, children small to him did go. At his feet they kneeled and prayed, on their heads his hands he laid. Come a spirit on the men, better when a mighty man, a spirit faithful, pure and mild, a spirit fit for king and child. Oh, what spirit give to me, Jesus Lord, where I'd be. Christmas Day, by Charles Kingsley. Oh, will it dawn, the coming Christmas Day, a northern Christmas shuts as painters laugh, and kinsfolk shaking hands but once a year, and dames who tell old legends by the fire, Red sun, blue sky, white snow, and pearl ice, and in riding air, which sets the blood on fire, and makes the old man merry with the young, through the soft sunshine, through the longer nights. Or softened Christmas, dark and dank with mist, and heavy with the scent of steaming leaves, and rosebuds smouldering on the dripping pork, one twilight without rise or set of sun, till the beetles drone along the hollow land, and round the leafless hoar thrones flitting bats, up the pale mouths of winter, will come when, at best, the flying gleam, the flying showers, rain pools glittering on the long white roads, and shadows sweeping on from down to down before the salt Atlantic gale, yet come, in whatsoever garb, or gay or sad. Come fair, come fool, 'twill still be Christmas Day. Or will it dawn, there come a Christmas Day, to sailors longing on the lonely deck, beneath a rushing trade wind, or to him who by some noisome harbor of the east, with his sword arms will down the precious bales, spoils of the tropic forest, year by year, amid the din of heathen voices groaning, himself half-eaten, how to those brave hearts, who toiled with laden loads and sinking stride, beside the bitter wells of treeless sands, towards the peaks which float the ancient Nile, to free a truant's captive? How to those, in the patriarchs of a new-found underworld, who stand, like Jacob, on the virgin lawns, and count their flocks increase, to them good day shall dawn in glory and solstice blaze of full midsummer sun, to them that morn gay flowers beneath their feet, gay birds aloft, shall tell of naught by summer, but to them, ere yet, unwarned by carol or by chime, where spring into the saddle thrills may come, from that great heart of Christen which beats round all the worlds in gracious thoughts of youth, of steadfast folk who worship God at home, of wise words leant beside their mother's knee, of innocent faces upturned against once, and on and joy to listen to the tale of God made man and in the manger laid. May our soft and beautiful and raised the soul from selfish cares and drowning lust of gain, and phantoms of his dream which shall call life, toward the eternal facts, for he or where, summer or winter, 'twill be Christmas Day. Blessed day, which aye remind us year by year, what 'tis to be a man, to curb and spurn, that rent in us, that ignoble self, which boasts nor loathes its likeness to the brute, and owns no good save ease, nor will save pain, nor purpose save it shares in that wild war, in which, through countless ages living things, compete in internecine greed. O God, are we as creeping things which have no lord? What we are brutes, great God, we know too well, apes daintiest features, silly birds who flaunt, where plums unhealing of a flower's step, spiders who catch with paper, not with webs, tigers who slay with cannon and sharp steel instead of teeth and claws. All these we are we no more when we's save in degree, no more when we's burn, but to compete, to envive and devour, like beast of herb. Mere fools of nature, puppets of strong lusts, taking the sword to perish with the sword, upon the universal battlefield, even as the things upon the moor outside. The heath eats up green grass and delicate flowers, the pine eats up the heath, the group the pine, and finch the group who hawk the city finch, and man, the mightiest of all beasts of prey, eats what he lists, the strong eat up the weak. Where many eat the few, great nations small, and he who competh in the name of all, he greedeth dreams by the greed of all, and, armed by his own victims, eats up all. While ever out of the eternal heavens looks patience down the great magnanimous God, who, maker of all worlds, did sacrifice all to himself, nay, but himself to one, who taught mankind of that first Christmas day, that 'twas to be a man, to give not take, to serve not rule, to nourish not devour, to help not crush, if need to die not live. O blessed day, which givest the eternal lie to self and sense and all the brute within, or come to us amid this war of life, to hall and hovel, come to all who toil, senate, shop, or study, and to those who, sundered by waste of half a world, ill-warned and sorely tempted, every face, Nature's brute powers and man unmanaged brutes come to them blessed blessing Christmas Day. Tell them once more the Babe of Bethlehem, the kneeling shepherds and the Babe divine, and keep the man indeed for Christmas Day. Dartside by Charles Kingsley. I cannot tell what to say, green leaves. I cannot tell what to say, but I know what wears a spirit in you, and a word in you this day. I cannot tell what you say, rosy rocks. I cannot tell what you say, but I know what wears a spirit in you, and a word in you this day. I cannot tell what you say, bronze steams. I cannot tell what you say, but I know that in you too a spirit doth live, and a word doth speak this day. A green is the color of faith and truth, and rose the color of love and youth, and brown of a fruitful clay. Sweet earth is faithful and fruitful and young, and your bridal day shall come along, and you shall know what rocks and streams and whispering woodlands say. Dolcino To Margaret by Charles Kingsley. The world goes up and the world goes down, and the sunshine follows the rain, and yesterday's sneer and yesterday's frown can never come over again. Sweet wife, no, never come over again. For woman is warm vote may be called, and the night will hollow with day, till the heart which at even was weary and awed can rise in the morning gay. Sweet wife, to its work in the morning gay. Down to the Mothers by Charles Kingsley. Linger no more, my beloved, my abbey and cell and cathedral. Mourn not for holy ones mouring of Outlaw who knew not the Father, weeping with fast and scourge when the bridegroom was taken from work. Drop back a while for the years to the warm rich youth of the nations, childlike in virtue and fate, for childlike in passionate pleasure, childlike still and still near to their God, where the dayspring of Eden lingered a rose-red race on the peaks of lonely mountains. Down to the mothers as Faust went, I go to roofs of our manhood, mothers of us and our cradles, of us once more in our glory, new-born, body and soul, in the great pure world which shall be, and the renewing of all things, when man shall return to his Eden, conquering evil and death and shame and the slanders of conscience, free in the sunshine of Godhead, and fearlessly smiles on his Father. Down to the mothers I go, yet with thee still, be with me for pursuit, lead me by hand in my hand, and the dayspring of God go before us. Drifting away, a fragment by Charles Kingsley. We drift away, ah God, we drift forever. I watch the stream sweep onward to the sea, like some odd-patterned buoy upon a roaring river, round whom the tide waves hang, and drift to sea. I watch them drift, the old familiar faces, who fished and rode with me, by stream and wood, till ghosts not men, fill all beloved places, and the land is ringed with churchyard moat. I watch them drift, the youthful aspirations, shores, landmarks, beacons, drift alike. I watch them drift, the poets and the statesmen, the very streams run aboard from the sea. Yet overhead the boundless arc of heaven still fades to night, still blazed into day. Ah God, my God, or why not drift away? Easter Week by Charles Kingsley. See the land, her Easter keeping, rises as her Maker rose, seats so long and darkness sleeping, burst at last winter snow. Earth of heaven above rejoices, fields and gardens hail the spring, swords and woodlands ring their voices, while the wild birds build and sing. You to whom your Maker granted powers to those sweet birds unknown, use the craft of God implanted, use the reason not your own. Hear what heaven and earth rejoices, each his Easter tribe bring, work of fingers, chant of voices, like the birds who build and sing. My Hunting Song by Charles Kingsley. Forward, hark, forward the cry, on more fence and we hold on the open. So to us at once, if you want to live near us, hark to them, right to them, beauties as on we go, leaping and sweeping away in the way below. Cowards and bunglers whose heart or whose eye is slow, find themselves staring alone. So the great cause flashes by, near and clear its purpose is open, while louder and prouder the word echoes cheers. Gentlemen, sportsmen, you ought to live up to us, lead us and lift us, and hello our game to us. We cannot call the hounds off, and no shame to us. Don't be left staring alone. My Little Doll by Charles Kingsley. I once had a sweet little doll, dears, the prettiest doll in the world. Her cheeks were so red and so white, dears, and her hair was so charmingly curled. But I lost my poor little doll, dears, as I played in the heath one day, and I cried for more than a week, dears, but I never could find where she lay. I found my poor little doll, dears, as I played in the heath one day. Folks say she's terribly changed, dear, for her paint is all washed away, and her arms trodden off by the coast, dears, and her hair not the least bit curled, yet for its sake she is still, dears, the prettiest doll in the world. Out to the North-East Wind by Charles Kingsley. Welcome, wild northeaster, shame it is to see, outs to every cipher, never worse to we. Welcome, black northeaster of the German foam, over the Danish moorlands, of the frozen home. Tried we are of summer, tried of gaudy glare, showers soft and streaming, hot and breathless air. Tired of listless dreaming, for the lazy day, druid wind of winter turns us out to play. Sweep the golden red beds, crisp the lazy dike, hung in a madness every planning pike. Fill the lake with white fowl, fill the marsh with snipe, with dreary moorlands, lonely curled pipe. With a black fire forest, thunder harsh and dry, shattering down the snowflakes of a curled sky. Hark, the brave northeaster, breast high lies the scant, on the Haldan headland of a heath and bend. Chim, ye dipping darlings, through the sleet and snow, who can override you? Let the horses go, chim, ye darkling darlings, down the roaring blast. You shall see a fox die ere an hour be past. Go and rest tomorrow, hunting in your dreams, when our skates are ringing of the frozen streams. Let the luscious south wind breathe in lovers' sights, while the lazy gallants bask in ladies' eyes. What does he but soft and hard alike and pen? 'Tis the hard grey weather breeds hard Englishmen. What's the soft southwester? 'Tis the lady's breeze bringing home her true loves, but of all the seas. But the black northeaster, through the snowstorm hurling, drives our English hearts of oak seaward round the world. Come as come our fathers, heralded by we, conquering from the eastward, lords by land and sea. Come and strong within us, steer the Viking's blood, bracing brain and sinew, blow the wind of God. On the death of Leopold, King of the Belgians, by Charles Kingsley. A king is dead, another mastermind is summoned from the world-wide council hall. Ah, for some seer to say what links behind, to read the mystic writing on the wall. Be still, fond man, nor ask thy fate to know. Face bravely what each God-sent moment brings. Above the roots in love, through wheel and row, guiding the kings and we, the King of Kings. Scotch Song by Charles Kingsley. Or forth she went like a braw bride to meet her winsome groom, and she was aware of trombony birds set bigging in the broom. She ta'en it built of a green moss, bud and the bins sae fine, and whatever we a lock o' lady's hair, linked up we siller twine. O whar gat ye the green moss, o whar the bends sae fine, and whar get ye the bony brown hair, which once was trees o' mine. Ye gat the moss fra the eldritch ale, the bends fra the winnen new, and the fauns night threw us the bony brown hair, to please his brown new fair. Gae pull the simmer leaves, and strew them soft and me. My tokens tint, my love is false, I'll lay down and thee. September 21st, 1870, by Charles Kingsley. Speak low, speak little, who may sing, while yonder cannon thunders boom, what shuddering, what each day may bring, no pipe amid a crack of doom. And yet the pines sing overheat, the robins by the alder pool, the bees about the garden bed, the children dancing home from school. And ever at the loom of birth, the mighty mother waves and sings. She waves fresh robes for mangled earth, she sings fresh hopes for desperate things. And though, too, if through nature's calm some strain of music touch thine ears, accept and share that soothing balm, and sing, though chocked with pitying tears. The Day of the Lord by Charles Kingsley. The day of the Lord is at hand, and storms roll up the sky. The nations sleep, starving on heaps of gold. All dreamers toss and sigh. The night is darkest before the morn, and the pain is sorest the child is born. And the day of the Lord at hand. Gather you, angels of God, freedom and mercy and truth. Come, for the earth is grown coward and old. Calm down and renew us, her youth, wisdom, self-sacrifice, daring and love. Haste to the battlefield, stop from above, to the day of the Lord at hand. Gather you, hounds of hell, famine and plague and war, idleness, bigotry and misery, gather and fall in the snare. Hireling and Mammotite, bigot and knave, crawl to the battlefield, sneak to their grave, and the day of the Lord at hand. Who would sit down and sigh for a lost age of gold, where the Lord of all ages is here? True hearts will leap up at the truths of God, and those who can suffer can dare. Each old age of gold was an iron age too. The meekest of saints may find stern work to do, the day of the Lord at hand. The Dead Church by Charles Kingsley. Wild, 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 wilt one never cease the sighing? Dark, dark night, wilt one never whir away? Cold, cold church, in thy death steep lying, the land is past, the passion here, but not thine Easter day. Peace, faint heart, though the night be dark and sighing. Rest, fair corpse, where the Lord himself hath lain. Weep, dear Lord, above the bride low lying. Thy tears shall wake a frozen limbs to life and health again. The Find by Charles Kingsley. Yon sounds neither sheep, bell, nor bark. They are running, go hark. The sport may be lost by a moment's delay, so whip up the puppies and scurry away. Dash down through the cover by dingle and dell. There's a gate at the bottom, I know it full well. We are running, go hark. We're running, go hark. One fence and we're out of a park. Sit down in your cells and race at the brook, and smash at the bullfinch, no time for a look. Leave Travens and Skirters to dangle behind. He's away for the moors and the teeth of the wind. And we're running, go hark. We're running, go hark. Let her run on and run till it's dark. Well with them we are, and well with them we'll be, while there's wind in our horses and daylight to see, and shock along homeward, and chat over the fight, and hear in our dreams the sweet music all night of we're running, go hark. The Night's Return by Charles Kingsley. Hark, 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 the lark sings high in the dark. There wolf is muttered, the night hawks moan, the raven crooks from the raven stone. What care I for his boding groan, riding the moorland to come to mine own? Hark, 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 the lark sings high in the dark. Hark, 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 the lark sings high in the dark. Long have I wandered by land and by sea, long have I ridden by moorland and lea. Yonder she sits with my babe on her knee, sits at the window and watches for me. Hark, 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 the lark sings high in the dark. The Old, Old Song by Charles Kingsley. When all the world is young, led, and all the trees are green, and every goose a swan led, and every girl a queen, when hath a boot and horse led, and run the world away, young blood must have its course led, and every dog his day. When all the world is old led, and all the trees are brown, and all the sport is stale led, and all the weeds run down, creep home and take your place where the spent and maimed are mourn. God grant you find one fact where you laughed when all was young. The Outlaw by Charles Kingsley. I wonder by a woman, neither to follow my father's trade, to bow my back on my banks, or plank and hoe and spade, stinting wife and barns, and kies to fed some quarter lord. Let them die of rent, what like mither, and I'll die by sword. Now I wonder be a clerk, mither to bite and beam, scribbling over the sheets of parchment with very pen, looking through the long state windows at a narrow strip of sky, like a labour oak in a withered cage, until I pine away and die. Now I wonder be a merchant, mither in his long grind gown, trading strings of foot so horses fought a noisy dusty town, looting low to knights and ladies, fumbling over the wares, telling lies and scraping siller, heaping cares on cares. Now I wanna be a soldier, mither to dice with roofing bands, pining very months in castles, looking over wasted lands, smoking rice and shrinking woman, and the gruesome sights of war. There's blood on my hand, mither, it's ill to make it mere. If I had married a wife, mither, I might here be indoors and still, and sit at home by the English side to crack and laugh my fill. Sit at home, my woman, I loud and wild bairnies at my knee. My death is veiled and age is cold, and laugh not for me. When first I stay on your side, Maiva, ye can full well how you lay all night up among the deer out on the open fell. And so it was that I won the heart to wander far and near, came never for land nor lassie, but the bonny Dundee. Yet I am not a loser and idle, Maiva nor a thief that steals. I do but hunt God's cattle upon God's own heads. For no man buys and sells the deer and the bony fells are free. For belted knight with honk on hand and a gangled loon like me. So I'm off and away to the mews, Maiva, to hunt the deer, ringing for Frere, throwing faces at the doge folk here, crawling up from burn and bracketing, looping down the screes, looking out for Craig and Haldan, drinking up the smear breeze. Over with the heavy honey and the music of the prey, as I watch the great hearts feeding, near, near at the day. How to hark the eagles screaming, sweeping, ringing around the sky, but the bony alive and strumbling over the muck to cold and kai. And when I'm tan and hanging, Maiva, or bratting on my deer, ye'll no leave your brain to the crow cross to dangle in the air, but ye'll send up me, drawn out those breathin', and ye'll steam me frae three, and bury me up on the brown muir, where I aye loot to be. Ye'll bury me, twixt the brae and the burn, and the glen far away, where I may hear the havecock crawl and the great hearts bray, and gin my jaste can walk, Maiva, I go govering at the sky, the livelong night on the black hillsides where the Dundee lie. The Red King by Charles Kingsley. The king was drinking in Malwood Hall. There came in a monk before them all. He thrust by squire, he thrust by knight, stood over against the day's aright. And the word of the Lord for cruel Red King, a word of the Lord to we I bring. A gloomy swearing I dream ye strain, and so we lie under the Homan's green, and for fine heart and ever clean. And out of her body a smoke did rise, which smears the sunshine out of the skies. So if our gods anointed be, I ready we unto the soul will see. For my tree and Paul were hasty souled, false night to Christ for gain and gold. And for this the forest were digged down all, standing in hamlet and churches tall. And Christus poor were outsteen forth, to the guy breed from south to north. So tarry at home and fast and pray, least finds hand we in the judgment day. The monk he vanished where he stood. King William stirred up grove and wood. Quoth ye, fools, wits will jump together. The Hampshire ale and the thunder weather have turned brains for us both, I think, and monks are cruised when we fall to drink. A lovely swearing I dreamed last night, where how ain't my grisly night did smite me down to the pit of hell. I shrieked and broke so fast I fell. Darrell's Jarrell, as sure as I pray, so he of you what shall hunt with me, a gonna brace for hard to see. The Red King down from Malwood came, his heart with wine was all aflame, his eyne were shotten, red as blood, he rated and swore wherever he rode. They rose the heart with criminal praise, a heart of 10 out of grace, fleet over against the king's place. The sun blinked the king's ear, a favor behind his hawks shot he. Should woe, quoth he, in the finest name, to lose such a coroy were 7 years' shame. And he hooved up his hand to mark the game. Traily shot, fully light, good what? Whatever the saint whispered a shot, wherever he treasured, man know not. But under the arm in a secret part, iron fled through the king's heart. But earth is squelched where the Red King fell, and the fiends they carried his soul to hell. Quoth his master's name, it half sped him well. Joel he smiled for grimwood day, caught shooting of kings' and brains play. And he smote in his boots and fleet fast away, as he prickled alone by river plain. Her green tufts flew behind like rain, and waters were out and over the sward. He swam his horse like a stalwart lord, went cleaving wet water to its ford, by Rhinefield and by Osmond lay. For glade and furze brake fast drove he, until he heard the roaring sea. Quoth he, what gay waves recall me? By my grace a seely boat, and Christ Church bar did lie afloat. He gave a shipman mark and coat, to ferry him over to Normandy, and where he failed to soak dry, but God sent his soul all bliss to see, and fend our princes every one, for fool, mishap, and trevision. But kings with power, Christian men, shall England never bide again. The Sands of Dee by Charles Kingsley. O Mary, go and call the kettle home, and call the kettle home, and call the kettle home, across the sands of Dee. The western wind was wild and dang the foam, and all alone went she. The western tide crept up along the sand, and o'er the sand, and round the sand, as far as eye could see. The rolling mist came down and hid the land, and never home came she. Oh, is it reed, or fish, or floating hair? A tress of golden hair, a drowned maiden's hair, above the nets at sea? Was never salmon yet that shone so fair among the stakes on Dee? They rowed her and across the rolling foam, the cruel crawling foam, the cruel hungry foam, to her grave beside the sea. But still the boatmen hear her call the cattle home across the sands of Dee.
The Starlings by Charles Kingsley. Early in springtime, on raw and windy mornings, beneath the freezing house eaves, I heard the starlings sing. A dreary March month is this when a time for building wearily. Sad, sad to think that the year's but begun. Late in the autumn, on still and cloudless evenings, among the golden reed beds, I heard the starlings sing. Ah, that sweet March month, when we and our mates were courting merrily. Sad, sad to think that the year's all but done.
The Summer Sea by Charles Kingsley. Soft, soft wind from outward sweets of sliding, waft by silver cloud, webs athwart the summer sea. Thin threads of mist of dewy finger ringing, weave a veil of devil gauze to shape my babe and me. Deep, deep love of wind, wine own a vice abiding. Pour myself abroad, O Lord, on earth and air and sea. Warm weary hearts within, way holy temple hiding. Shield from sorrow, sin, and shame my helpless babe and me. The Swan Neck by Charles Kingsley. Evil sped the battle play on the Pope Calixtus' day. Mighty warsmiths, tanners, and lords in Sandleck slept the sleep of swords. Harold Earl shoot over shield, lay along the autumn reed. Slaughter such was never none since the Eatlings England won. Tighter Lady Gita came, weeping sore for grief and shame. How may she her firstborn tell? Frenchmen stripped him where he fell, gashed and marred his comely face. Who can know him in his place? Up and spake to breathe the wise, youngest hearts have keen eyes. Bird which leaves its mother's nest, moulds its pinions, moulds its crest. Let us call the Swan Neck here, she that was his lemon dear. She shall know him in the stoned foot of wolf and scant of hound, eye of hawk and wing of dove, carry woman to her laugh. Up and spake the Swan Neck high, go to all your fens that cry, or laughed him best of all. I who man his lemon call, but I knew his body fair, and a mother rich and bare, when he lived in wealth and glee, when he scorned to look on me. God hath brought the proud ones low, after me afoot to go. Rousing ear and solo gleed, rousing grey wolf off his feet. Of a Franklin, Earl and Vane, heaps of mother naked slain, round the red field tracing slow, stood the Swan Neck white as snow. Never blushed nor turned away, till she found him where he lay, clipped him in her arms fair, wrapped him in her yellow hair, bore him from the battle's steed, saw him laid in Pornofleet, took her to a minister high, for Earl Harold's soul to cry. Westphal Harold, bracelet giver, Jesus rest his soul forever, angels all from frail deliver, Miserian domain.
The Three Fishers by Charles Kingsley. The three fishers went sailing away to the west as the sun went down. Each thought on the woman who loved him the best, and the children stood watching them out of the town. For man must work and woman must weep, and there's little to earn and many to keep, though the harbour bar be moaning. Three wives sat up in the lighthouse tower, and they trimmed the lamps as the sun went down. They looked at the squall, and they looked at the shower, at the night wreck come rolling up wrecked and brown. But man must work and woman must weep, though storms be sudden and waters deep, and the harbour bar be moaning. Three corpses lay out on the shining sands in the morning gleam as the tide went down, and the women are weeping and wringing their hands for those who will never come home to the town. For man must work and woman must weep, and the sooner it's over the sooner to sleep, and goodbye to the bar and its moaning.
The Tide River by Charles Kingsley. Clear and cold, by laughing shallow and dreaming pool. Cool and clear, by shining shingle and foaming weir. Under the crag where Rosen sings, and wavy wall where the church bell rings. An the field, verwarn the field. Pay by me, bar for me, maar weinschein. Denkend fool, by the smoky town in its murky cone. Fool and denk, by wharf and terror and slimy bank. Darker and darker the farther I go, baser and baser richer I grow. Would I spawn with a sin defiled? Shrink for me, turn for me, mother and child. Strong and free, the floodgates are open, away to sea. Free and strong, cleansing my streams as I hurry along to the golden sands and the leaping bar, and the tameless tide that awaits me afar, as I lose myself in the infinite main, like a soul that has sinned and is pardoned again. Underfield from the underfield, play by me, bathe in me, mother and child. The Tide Rock by Charles Kingsley. How sleeps yon rock whose half-day's bath is done, with broad bright side beneath a broad bright sun, like sea nymph tried and cushioned Moses sleeping, yet near drawn beneath her purple tresses, from dropping brows we find her slowly weeping. So many a wife for curls man scarces, most in light pine, yet outward bear a gallant front to his world's gold glare.
The Ugly Princess by Charles Kingsley. My parents bow and lead them forth for all the crowd to see, and well, the people might not care to cheer a dwarf like me. They little know how I could laugh, how I could plain and toil, to swell those drudges' scanty gains, their mighty of rye and oil. They little know what dreams have been my playmates, night and day, of equal kindness, helpful care, a mother's perfect sway. No earth to earth and convent walls, to earth and church yet sought. I was not good enough for man, and so am given to God. The Watchman by Charles Kingsley. Watchman, what out the night? The stars are out in the sky, and the merry moon will be rising soon, for us to go sailing by. Watchman, what out the night? The tide flows in from the sea, where's water to float, a little boat will carry such fishers as we. Watchman, what of the night? The night is a fruitful time, when to many a pair are born children fair, to be christened at morning chime.
The Weird Lady by Charles Kingsley. She's servant came up round Harold the Earl, like mountains in the sunny's beam, and over him stood a weird lady in a charmed castle over the sea, sing levo still and dream. Thy state is dead in a stall, Earl Harold, since thou hast been with me. The rust has eaten the harness bright, and the rats have eaten the greyhound light, and thou so fair and free. Mary Mother, she stopped from heaven, she wakened Earl Harold out of his swan, took down his harness on, and over the land and over the sea he wended aboard to his own country, a very way to gone. Oh, but his beard was white with eld, oh, but his hair was grey. He stumbled on by stock and stone, and as he journeyed he made his moan along the very way. Earl Harold came to his castle wall. The gate was burned with fire, roof and rafter were fallen down. The folk were strangers all in the town, and strangers all in the shire. Earl Harold came to a house of nuns, and he heard the dead bell toll. He saw the sexton stand by a grave. Now Christ have mercy, who did as safe upon yon fair nun's soul? The nuns were came from the convent gate, by one, by two, by three. They sang for the soul of a lady bride, who died for the love of a traitor knight. It was his own lady. He stayed the corpse beside the grave. A sign, quoth he. Mary Mother, who rules heaven, send me a sign, if I be forgiven by the woman who so loved me. A white dove out of a coffin flew, Earl Harold's mouth it kissed. He fell on his face wherever he stood, and the white dove carried his soul to God, or ever the bear's wist.
The World's Age by Charles Kingsley. Who will say the world is dying? Who will say our prime is past? Sparks from heaven within us lying, flesh and will flesh till the last. Fools, who fancy Christ mistaken, man a tool to buy and sell, earth a failure, God forsaken, anteroom of hell. Still a race of hero spirits pass the land from hand to hand, age from age the worlds inherits, wife and child and fatherland. Still the youthful hunter gathers fiery joy from wold and wood. He will dare as dared his fathers, give him cause as good. While a slave bewails his fetters, while an orphan pleads in vain, while an infant lisps his letters, here of all the age gain. While a lip grows ripe for kissing, while a moan from man is wrung, know by every wand and blessing, what the world is young. To G.H.G. by Charles Kingsley. A hasty jest I once let fall, as jests are wont to be untrue, as if a sum of joy to you were hunt and picnic, round and ball. Your eyes met mine, I did not blame, you saw it, but I touched too near some noble nerve, a silent tear spoke soft reproach and lofty shame. I do not wish those words unsaid, unspoiled by praise and pleasure. You in that one look to woman grew, while with a child I thought I played. Next to mine own beloved so long, I have not spent my heart in vain. I watched the blade, I see the grain, a woman's soul, most soft yet strong. Valentine's Day by Charles Kingsley. Oh, I wish there were a tiny browny bird from out the south, settled among the alder halls and twittering by the stream. I would put my tiny tail down and put up my tiny mouth, and sing my tiny life away in one melodious dream. I would sing about the blossoms and the sunshine in the sky, and the tiny wife I mean to have in such a cozy nest. And if someone came and shot me dead, why, when I could but die, with my tiny life and tiny song just ended at their breast. Young and Old by Charles Kingsley. When all the world is young, lad, and all the trees are green, and every goose a swan, lad, and every lass a queen, when hey for boot and horse, lad, and round the world away, young blood must have its course, lad, and every dog his day. When all the world is old, lad, and all the trees are brown, and all the sport is stale, lad, and all the wheels run down, creep home and take your place where the spent and maimed are mourn. God grant you find one face where you laughed when all was young.